I think people are afraid to talk about miscarriages, stillbirths, any type of loss of a child. My name is Farley. I currently live in the suburbs of Chicago with my wife Christine, and we've been here for about 22 years. At first, we weren't thinking about kids. We were more about our careers. Going through the whole fertility treatment process was something that was eye-opening to both of us, of walking into the doctor's office. Because first of all, we never thought we'd have to go through that. We just thought, you want to have kids? You have kids. And it was hard to see Christine go through that because she had to take the shots and take the medication. We realized that we were going to have a little girl. Wow. I mean, I'm going to be a dad. That's awesome. We found out there were some genetic issues. Unfortunately, we lost her. It was a miscarriage in week 17. The biggest thing for me after losing Katie was I just wanted to distance myself from the situation as quickly as possible. Christine wanted to talk about it, but I tried to run from it. I didn't want to face it. If I just kept pushing forward, I could outrun it or get beyond it. We decided to go through the process again. I was scared. I was really scared. I barely survived the loss of Katie. I don't know if I can go through another loss. So that fear kind of come into play a little bit of, well, what if? We chose 2 to implant and 1 took, and that was Noah. It was scary every step of the way because during pregnancy there's these checks of, is there a heartbeat? Week 12, week 16, and week 20, you still have a heartbeat. So we got to week 20 and realized there was a lot of problems. Within a couple of weeks he had passed, and then we delivered him.
I would say all the photos in here I treasure. I mean, they all mean a lot to me, but there's a couple of them that stand out. The one I'm having a very heart-to-heart conversation with him. He was tiny. He fit pretty much in the palm of my hand. I don't remember every word. I just know that I just wanted to know how much I love him. And how much I'll miss being his dad. Watching him grow up.
I knew I felt extreme sadness. I never knew what grief felt like. I tried to tell myself, don't cry, push through it, toughen up. That was the message that was sent to me as a young child. I never saw another adult male cry until I don't even remember. And I remember going to the doctor and saying, I think there's something wrong with me. I think I might have a brain tumor. And I look back and I laugh about it now because I didn't know what I was dealing with. He's like, I think it might be grief. I started seeing a counselor. I started taking an antidepressant, which went against everything I ever thought I would ever do, but I did it because I was desperate. I was desperate for pain relief.
Hi. Are you ready? All right, let's go.
When I decided that I needed help, I started looking around for resources and realized there wasn't a whole lot of people out there talking about men's issues. Couldn't find books on it. Couldn't even find other men really talking about it. I needed to know the truth about what I was dealing with, and I just couldn't find it. You're standing there and you're like, what am I going to do with my life? You can't go back to the guy you were before. That guy's gone. You have an opportunity to change your life, redesign it in a way that's you today. I decided to write Grieving Dads to the Brink and Back because I knew I wanted a book that didn't pull punches. And I wanted to be brutally honest. I wanted the truth. And I wanted to be more than just grief. I wanted to be a tool to help people navigate the aftermath of losing a child.
It's heartbreaking to hear these stories. I mean, this guy's, it's been almost 30 years, and he still feels the need to come on here and tell a story, which is awesome. I'm glad he's doing it, but it just goes to show you it never leaves you. It stays with you for your whole life.
I hear from a lot of guys that I interviewed for my book, they feel like they're alone in their grief. And a lot of it has to do with that question of, how's your wife doing? No one ever says, how are you doing?
Looking back, I'm kind of like, yeah, there really isn't a lot out there for dads that can provide that support for them. And a lot of dads aren't talking. He's kind of opened up that door where dads are now talking too, where moms were always having conversations and crying together and going through that, where, I didn't see a lot of that with guys. So I think it was very difficult for him not having those resources available.
That bonded us forever. There's this bond that we have, knowing that we both survived the loss of Katie and Noah. No matter whatever happened in our relationship, there's always going to be this bond and this love of two parents that love their children tremendously.
I'd say I'm 95% comfortable with the fact I don't have living children, mainly because I don't look at my children now as completely gone from my life. Do I hold them every day? No. I know they're with me. I feel them every day.
I do feel a sense of peace when I'm here, which is what we hoped when we created it, to help other people that are going through a recent loss or somebody at the hospital or dealing with something. It's just a place for people to come, reflect, spend some time thinking about what they're dealing with, what their family members are dealing with. Hopefully it's helped people throughout the years.
There's a sense of freedom that comes along with once you get through that other side of the tunnel. The freedom is there's not much anybody can do to me that's going to rattle me. I think if you're going to survive the loss of a child, you have to get comfortable talking about it. You have to tell your story, not once, not twice, multiple times. Keep telling it. Keep telling that story to anybody that'll listen, including yourself. Find something to honor your child, because I think that's what will pull people out of that deep despair. Find something bigger than you.